Meanwhile, turning now to the crisis along the U.S. southern border. Migrant buses from Texas continue to pour into cities nationwide, including Washington, D.C., Chicago, and New York City. But imagine if dozens of those migrants were secretly transported into your city without any heads up, because that's what happened last week in Burr Ridge, Illinois, a suburb just 20 miles outside of Chicago. Burr Ridge Mayor Gary Grasso says he was given no heads up, no notice, when Chicago bussed 64 migrants into his city and checked them into a local Hampton Inn hotel for at least, as he says, the next 30 days. Burr Ridge Mayor Gary Grasso joins us now. Mayor, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the show, the program here. This is a very heavy topic, and it's one that's getting a lot of national attention now that busing migrants to various cities. Talk us through what your city went through. You were given no notice of this?
No notice whatsoever. I learned about it not even from the city of Chicago nor the state of Illinois or the governor's office. I learned it from a friend of mine. I had served on the DuPage County Board of Health for 12 years, and someone said, "Did you know what's happening in your village?" And I said, "What's happening?" And so we slowly tracked it down and found out that already the 64 migrants had been checked into the hotel and were in our village. We had no idea of their health status. We had no idea of whether they were unaccompanied minors. We had no idea of their backgrounds. We did not know at the time what part of the world they had come from.
Why Burr Ridge? Do you know?
I don't know. We're a Republican area of DuPage County and a portion of Cook County. The excuse I was given was that some Afghan refugees had been placed in that hotel back in February by the state, again, without notice to us. We didn't know about that.
Yeah.
But that was a totally different situation. The Afghan debacle by the White House, resulted in, of course, people coming to this country. We have a large Muslim population in our area, and it wouldn't have surprised me that they brought Afghans here. We have a very active and population, great people, of course, and so that didn't surprise me. The border crisis is a totally different situation. To be told that migrants are here, we didn't even know if they were legal or illegal. We don't understand what asylum status gives them, who's going to monitor that. It's just typical arrogance of the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago to just welcome everybody to come to Chicago and the state of Illinois and then put them in our village without even asking us.
Sure, send them 20 miles out. Governor Pritzker there, the governor in Illinois, defending his decision to relocate migrants in suburbs across the state. Listen to this.
And this has to do not with we're picking some suburb, but rather there happens to be a hotel that's available that has the right number of rooms for us to send asylum seekers to.
And to go farther from that, a spokesperson for the governor released a statement defending the decision from Pritzker to send those migrants to Burr Ridge. That statement reads, quote, here, the state has a prior relationship with the hotel being used in the suburbs, and their staff has done amazing work welcoming refugees and asylum seekers before. So it is interesting that local officials are choosing this specific instance to gripe up to the press about this specific group of asylum seekers that consists of about 30 families. Your response to that?
Well, we took great insult by that. This has nothing to do with the migrants. They're seeking peace. They're seeking a new life. We're all the products of immigrants. My grandparents came over to this country over 100 years ago. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair but for them. So that it isn't about the migrants. And so far, by the way, they've been model residents. They're causing us no issues. It's the arrogance of the state. You just heard it in his voice. Like, he can just send them here without notice. The right thing to do is to have given us notice. And then, after we question the decisions, his press secretary if you read that statement a little further down, you'll see that they then accused us of being xenophobic. My board, my residents are outraged by him using that word. That is not what's going on here.
Yeah, well, as if that's the only Hampton Inn in the state of Illinois. I don't really understand that.
And
Go ahead.
Right. And look, the city of Chicago says they're the city of big shoulders when they want to brag about how well they get stuff done. They invite people to come here. The state invites them. They don't have room for 64 migrants. Right. Doesn't the Hyatt Hotel somewhere, Governor Pritzker owns the Hyatt Hotels. Why doesn't he send them to the Hyatt Hotels if he's so concerned about that? This is just poor execution, no communication, and disrespect of local public officials. And he's trying to make it into something that it isn't about the migrants. We're not complaining about the migrants. If they had a problem and they called upon us to do something, of course we would step up. Yeah. It's the way he's executed.
That is Mayor Burr, Gary Grasso there, who was not told about the placement of those illegal migrants there in his town at that hotel. Mayor, thank you so much for coming on. Keep us posted on all the. I know they're going to be there for some 30 days. So what happens from there, we will follow.
And we don't know the asylum process or what goes next.
Right.
So
right.
We will keep you apprised. Thank you.
You got it, Mayor. Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting to hear from him on that, because if you listen to the complaint, it's simply about correspondence.
Right. The lack of communication.
An email, right?
Yeah, I always go back too. I think of the border towns in Texas. They don't get a heads up email though. You know, this is what they're facing day after day. The influx of migrants, the Border Patrol agents who are raising the alarm bells. They're waving the flag saying, help us out. We're dealing with nearly 2 million, although the vice president will say the border is secure. And now it's being pushed onto these small towns, despite these big cities being sanctuary cities.
I'll wrap it up, but I just wanted to say, look how out of control this is getting, because now you're creating chaos with leaders in Illinois, with the southern border. Now they're at odds with each other over this, and it seems like a domino effect. We'll continue to follow it.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.